explain for the benefit of our viewers, why is it that Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, many southern states are raising this bogey of, language imposition, Hindi imposition?
Thank you so much, Simari. I mean, the least I can say with due respect to the Congress representative, Madam, you claim you have read the NEP. I can tell you, you have not read it.
Yeah, I would have spoken properly if I'm given an opportunity to complete my sentences.
Okay, I give you another minute. Explain the language imposition.
Please continue, Shivani.
No, explain the language imposition. I'm giving you another minute. I have not even spoken to any other guest for 5 minutes but you.
No, please continue.
No, why don't you explain it now?
No, please continue. He was talking about how I'm wrong. I would like to
know.
Yes,
Mr. CB Sharma, what is your position as an educationist on the language issue of the NEP? Okay, it seems like we've lost his link. Let me go across to our BJP representative. Yes, Mr. Prashanth, come in.
See, this is, Shivani, what Congress is doing, what it has been done for 70 years now. Dividing people, misleading people with complete lies. Because look at how Congress started now saying, it is imposition of Hindi. Whereas in NEP, the emphasis is on learning in mother tongue language and the local language. And to rebut what Lavanya was talking about learning in Karnataka, I have also studied in a state syllabus school in Karnataka. I have studied Sanskrit as my first language, and I had Kannada, and I also had English. There was no Hindi imposition at all. In fact, the first language was Sanskrit in a state syllabus school. So therefore, Lavanya need not mislead people here saying somebody in Karnataka through NEP is imposing Hindi at all.
Okay.
It is completely wrong and completely against the facts of NEP at all.
But the second point she raised was that the states also have certain curriculum to take care of. This is too centralized. This is also a charge coming from many opposition rule states. How do you respond to that?
Shivani, when you look
Shivani,
at
can I answer?
Yes, sir. I'll come to you. Give me 1 minute. I'm just coming to you. We lost you in between. Mr. Prashanth, yes, finish.
Yeah, Shivani, if you look at India's history, it cannot be limited to one particular rule or a 700-year rule of one particular community or by one dynasty which ruled over India. India has to be looked in for thousands of years and the history has to be well read. So therefore, when you're talking about religion, customs, traditions of India, all the students of India in the country need to be aware of what India was for past many years, and therefore the emphasis should be on education which is inclusive, which teaches them what happened.
But every state must also have some leeway which exists today. Definitely. To have some deviations.
Shivani, at no point in time the local heroes are being sidelined. In fact, there will be enough emphasis to
I'm
ensure
not sure how much is it fair to say that because we have a federal structure, therefore the NEP is bad for us. But let CB Sharma come in. Sir, on both issues, the key issues that are being raised is one about language. You said that Lavanya was wrong. She is awaiting a more detailed response from you. And the second, how do you look at the opposition to the NEP? Is it good or bad for us? Sir.
Shivani, let me complete that argument that the language issue is only about the foundation, that is 3 to 8 years of children. And we had said that foundation education will be given in all mother tongues.
Yes.
Because when we started working on it in 2015, there were about 2 crore children out of school because of the language issue. I won't go into detail of it, but let me then say that we have given only the option of choosing any subject. The subjects were very watertight. There is no issue of any state there. You teach your children in Kannada, you teach your children in English or Hindi or whatever. That's your prerogative, and central government does not interfere. In fact, that is my complaint from the government to the government, that the government has not regulated the school education well. Let me go to higher education. Higher education, why is the minister or anybody complaining from Karnataka or any state for that matter? The University Grants Commission is the supreme authority. No minister can interfere in it. Forget about central minister. So UGC as an academic body has authority, and all states, irrespective of political, government, they have to hear the UGC. All the discussion happens in school education because school education is controlled by the state government. And every time there is a politics, it's politics about school education.
So, look, as I understand, the NEP's main aim,
the NEP's main aim on their curriculum, because they decide, their autonomous bodies. There is not a single autonomous body in school education. There is not a single statutory regulatory body. And that is why we academics who are working in school education keep demanding that there should be a parallel body like a school education commission outside the government, outside the political interference, like the University Grants Commission. So, Madam, Ms. Ballal, you are completely, ignorant about the process of deciding on curriculum and implementation. The first time any interference came into education and curriculum was when Arjun Singh retracted from the National Curriculum Framework of 2000. Why did the Congress government in 2005 do away with the National Curriculum Framework decided by the NCRT and frame a new National Curriculum Framework?
Okay,
is it
fair
not
enough.
the national curriculum? Then why
I
do
don't
you do
understand
that?
why
I
if
will
something
say
is
that
national or
politicians should
central,
keep out of,
it automatically
curriculum.
becomes bad. That can't be an argument. We do need, as Mr. CB Sharma is saying, some sort of body outside of politics as it exists in higher education. And Lavanya, I have limited time to give to all of our guests now. The main purpose of the NEP is to allow students to be able to pick and choose subjects which were restrictive earlier, but to give them a little bit more freedom. At the school level, that language issue is not arising at all.
Shivani, why is it that anytime the state thinks of, any state thinks of protecting its students' rights and its students' interests, it is viewed as a political decision that is against the BJP party? That is one of the valid questions everybody should ask. Ultimately, NEP paves way for privatization of education,
How?
which leads to multiple autonomous institutions, and when there is more and more autonomous institutions, there will be discrimination.
Absolutely
No, one second.
baseless.
Cash and also exploitation of the students based on language
But
as
madam,
well.
autonomous institution does not mean a private
Shivani, may I
institution.
step in?
One second.
No, not at all. Madam
Autonomous,
Lavanya,
you have not
autonomous
understood
does not
anything.
mean private. Autonomous is still very much under the aegis of the government. And please explain how it will promote privatization of education.
Let me give you an example of Bangalore
On the
University.
contrary, it will not. The SCRT has been made responsible. SCRT has been made responsible. SCRT has been made so powerful now.
Okay.
That the State Council for Education Research and Training.
I want to give a minute
takes
each.
over the
I want to give a
curriculum and
minute
decide
each. Mr. Prashanth, I want to give you a minute again. Now the issue is that it will lead to privatization of education. Although autonomous body does not mean private. I want to make that distinction for our viewers. A minute to you, Prashanth.
Shivani, Congress is always trying to mislead. Even here, Lavanya Ballal claims to have studied NEP for 3 years, but with utmost respect, I can tell her, please read again, reread it, because you have not understood the ethos of NEP at all. You are trying to make only a statement or political gimmick to say why Congress in Karnataka is doing this, accepting that you are not talking anything about NEP. In fact, the students have been given the right to opt out at any stage, because we understand that the 16-year education rule, which most outside of India countries follow for students to get admission, India was lacking in that, because by having 1 to 10 plus 2 and degree of 3 years, it was 15 years. So even at a global level, it was lead to 16 years. And now, even students can opt out even after 2 years, and they'll be given a diploma or an equivalent certificate, so that based on what skills they have acquired in those 2 years. So therefore, at every point in time, the students are getting to benefit here in NEP and not privatizing
But
at all.
how do you look
And
at the
being
step that
autonomous
the
does not
government
mean
has
it is
taken?
private.
Prashant ji, very quickly, 20 seconds. How do you look at the step that the government has taken? They're not going to listen to you. And they're going to now scrap the NEP and bring in some sort of a parallel system.
Shivani, this is what's going to happen. Karnataka government under Siddaramaiah and Shivkumar are playing with the future of the students. They have little regard for the future of the students and their education, only to buttress their political agenda, only to scrap whatever BJP had brought in. They're doing this.
Can I
They're
just
not
turn
even
to my
pointing out
expert?
what they're bringing in SCP. For the
Just,
state education
I just have
policy.
a minute left. Can I just turn to my expert? Mr. Sharma, for the benefit of our viewers, forget the politics on it. Are there legitimate concerns, you think, as far as the NEP is concerned, that maybe some tinkering can be done to bring everybody on board? Or is it just being opposed for the sake of opposition?